Malolele. My name is Matelita Kinikini, and my topic for today is homeless people deserves decent lives. It was freezing in downtown Portland this last winter, yet many homeless families camped by the side of the road. It wasn't just in downtown Portland, but all around the city. They sleep outside McDonald, shopping centers, gas stations, parks, and even by the freeway. Have you seen any homeless while you were driving in town? I wonder what it feels like to have no home, sleep in a tent, and freeze outside when it's below freezing. I mean, did you know that according to the stats from Portland Monthly, there are at least 4,177 homeless people in the city of Portland alone, and 14,476 for the whole state of Oregon. 48% of those homeless population suffer from mental illness, disability, and substance abuse disorders. The saddest truth is that out of everyone, out of four homeless are children. There are quite a few deaths from hypothermia every winter because they get exposed to the weather. You see, the homeless people of Oregon and wherever you are deserve a decent life. They are neighbors we need to help. In Proverbs chapter 29, verse 7, it reads, and I quote, "The righteous considereth the cause of the poor, but the wicked regardeth not to know it." It does take a true Christian to reach out to the poor and the needy. We can't rely on the government to help homeless people because they just can't. If we gather together as Christians, we can reach out with water, food, medical supplies, sanitation, and also provide ways to get out of homelessness. Now, some may argue that it's not our job to reach out to the homeless people because they need to be responsible for their own lives. Oh, yes, of course it is true, but it is also an excuse and justification of failure and unwilling to help. In other words, they are selfish. In Mark chapter 12, verse 31, it reads, and I quote, "God commands all to love our neighbors. We have impoverished neighbors that are waiting for us." I have a few points that I've outlined how the homeless people have needs in order to have decent lives. And number one, we can help them with their sanitation. There are no bathrooms around where they camp. There are no trash cans either. I have a project for this Christmas season, and that is to place a few portable toilets on the campsites. I also plan to send garbage cans so they can pick up after themselves. The garbage company will pick up the cans once a week. I have created a GoFundMe account in pursuit of help with sanitation for the homeless. I will put the link on the bottom of this video so you can donate if you want to. My next point is the homeless people needs food, water, medical supplies, and a decent home, like we all do. Few churches serve hot meals for the homeless people, but it's just not enough to feed everyone. I see many of them standing by the street lights begging for anything. And some may be using the money they get from people to buy cigarettes, alcohol, and even drugs. But that's precisely the reason why they need help, mentally, physically, and emotionally. Some of them need rehab, medical attention, and needs to be loved. My last point is that homeless people need resources to help them get out of homelessness. They need job training, skilled classes, job applications, apartment and home search. And maybe we can offer our expertise by teaching free classes so to be open to those who need it. Education is critical, but sometimes costly. We can help them get back on their feet. In conclusion, I want to share about my childhood. I grew up in the islands of Tonga. We didn't have a car, we didn't have much, and I thought we were poor. My dad was just a farmer, and we relied heavily on our crops sold in the market every Saturday. If my dad brings back home $200 or $300 a week, That was considered a lot. I was the center of my parents' love since I was the only child. I wasn't ever cold or hungry or alone, even though I was mostly by myself. Tonga is still a developing country compared to the mighty United States of America, but there are no homeless there. No one starves, and everyone mostly owned their homes. When I migrated here, I was so shocked and sad to see the many homeless people digging in trash cans and picking up leftover food. That was a culture shock for me. The bottom line is, we're all children of God. Yes, including the homeless people. The choice to reach out is yours to make. But I'm just wondering, what if the situation was otherwise, and we were the homeless ones? Brothers and sisters, and my fellow Christians, there are many homeless people around and nearby. We can't do everything for them, but we all can do something to help them have decent lives. Whether it's giving a plate of food, or maybe a water bottle, or even donating blankets, jackets, or anything you can. I think of the homeless people as silent grievers. They are audible books waiting to play. Their stories are waiting to be heard. Are you willing and ready to listen? Thank you.